Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
On the start of souls by giving all praise to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Bashem, Yahushai,
Yahushai, Ba'ashem,
Bashem
Rakakwadash.
Rakakwadash.
Double honors the Apostle Great
Double
Millstone,
honors.
and honors you, brothers, in the work of the Most High truth and in sincerity. Yeah, we're just gonna go in the spirit, see where the spirit leads. We wanted to start off with the starting point, just a quick one. Just a quick one starting point off of the alleged attack on the Kremlin today, right? Apparently a drone tried to Ukraine. Obviously Russia blamed Ukraine for the act, but a drone, allegedly hit the Kremlin, right? But the Russians say they deactivated it before it hit. But either way, it's kind of like you consider just thinking about war tactics, like why the Ukrainians would basically commit suicide, because that's basically what they've done, right? With this attack, because you have this quote here, right? This is from Dmitry Medvedev, right? It says, just a summary of his statement. It says, after today's terrorist attack, there are no options left except for the physical elimination of Zelensky and his clique, right? Dmitry Medvedev, right? So one to keep an eye on. But we go and jump into precepts and we'll see where the spirit leads from here.
Can I got the precept you quoted
Yeah.
earlier? This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
And that's it. So, there'll be wars and there'll be rumors of wars happening all throughout the world. Right. In the same time, it is alleged that there's a whole thing happening with Taiwan at the moment. Right. That's not, manifested into a war yet. Right. But all of these things are happening at the moment, man. The Lord is really stirring up, the spirit of war in this system, right, in this world. Why? Because we're reaching the end of this man's kingdom, right? And even on that,
Precept as well.
oh, you got it, brother. Oh, it's the same precept.
Oh, no, you got it. You got it.
No, you got it already. I was still loading it up, isn't it?
Right. This is Joel chapter 3. Let me see if I read up a bit. Verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men.
Yeah, the verse say prepare war, because the Most High wants that war. I read Exodus 15:3, I believe. It says, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name, right? So the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, he loves that, man. Right? And in these last days, we're really going to see that war, coming out, man. So you go,
Yep. And it says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
Yep.
Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Yeah.
Let the weak say, I am strong.
So that first part is going into the fact that you're going to have, countries I think is the word divest, but basically like go from, farming and whatever, what have you, right, to start putting more and more money into a war, right, into weaponry, into, anything, that can be used as weapons of war. You look at countries like, even like China from 50 years ago, right? China was, agricultural type nation, whatever, what have you, right? But then guess what's happened over time? They started building, right? And as they started building, yeah, they maintained the agriculture. One of the things they really started to work on, right, was, their military power, right?
And it says, assemble yourselves.
So Slovakia. And then the last bit was let the weak say I'm strong. Right, and that's what you're having. Like you're having, as more and more weapons either get backed up by the Russians, right, pursuant to Ezekiel 38, rather Russia and go pursuant to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, or they themselves have, made themselves the weapon, man, right, and as such they, they have strength, right, in everything that they have, It's right, they have strength on the world stage in that department. When you look at somewhere like Iran, for example, I think a few years ago, they just basically took a British ship from the seas, right? That was them saying, look, man, we can do it and we're going to do it. Do something about it.
Yeah. And it says, assemble yourselves
Mm.
and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about to the cause thy mighty ones to come down.
That's it.
You know, and ultimately, you know, all this, the Lord is the one that's mustering all these different armies against each other, making all these moves, because World War III is part of prophecy.
Yep.
You know, and ultimately, you know, in the midst of all that, you know, after America's destroyed, okay, during all that, when America's getting destroyed, so like, you know, with the missiles and the lasers,
Yep.
Yahweh Shai and the angels are coming. And it says that to the cause thy mighty ones to come down, man. The mighty ones are the angels.
Yeah.
So that's what's coming to this place. Destruction through the missiles, which is the ultimate weapon of these of the World War III, and the lasers from the chariots and the angels.
That's it. I got one that you quoted just now. It's Isaiah 13:4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mastereth the host of the battle. Right?
All right. Yeah. This is verse 12. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Yeah, and Jehoshaphat means, when you look into the word, basically means judgment, right? So this is where the Lord is going to judge these people, right? You know, because for all of the wickedness that they have done to the children of Israel, right? That is where that judgment begins, right? You know, that's that major judgment, that calamity upon them, right? But in the kingdom, those nations are going to be under the children of Israel. Okay.
Yeah, and you got the whole the Levant,
Mm-hmm.
that area, man. That's going to become a bloodbath, man.
Yeah.
You know, where you got Saudi Arabia, Israel, all that land over there, Jordan, all of that. It's going to be a bloodbath, man. You know, and Israel's going to eat a nuke as well amongst all this. You know, so you mentioned Iran,
Yeah,
that whole area, man. Okay, but yeah, that's it on that one.
Can. So because you said something, I'm just looking up on something. But you know what?
I think I've got a quick one if you're looking.
Okay, yeah, if you got one.
Yeah, this is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. So it's the Lord, like I mentioned earlier. Let me put that on vibrate. It's the Lord that I mentioned earlier is gathering, you know, the hosts that muster to the battle. All these different hosts, all these different armies, these missiles. It's all the Lord's. Okay, you know, the Lord of what's that? Sabaoth. The Lord of the armies, right? Lord of the hosts.
Yeah.
If that's correct, right? Yeah. You know, so that the Lord's, all these armies that are getting. Hey, Esau. What's Esau known as in the scriptures? Which Esau's army. Okay. Psalm 17 and 13 tells you that he's the sword of the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all this is all the Lord's doing. And why is he doing it? Check it out. To pour upon them mine indignation. So we're going to find out what the Lord's indignation is, which is righteous anger, by the way, right? Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So ultimately, the Lord's bringing fire, man, through them missiles and through them lasers.
That's it. You got,
that
yeah. So
what you looking for?
Not really, but what do you call it? This is Isaiah 34. I'll go into it, right? It says, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. Right? For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, right? And his fury upon all their armies, right? Because ultimately what the Lord is going to do, right, is eventually, for instance, when you read the account in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, right? When all is said and done, right? These heathens, they're still going to be proud and try and fight against Yahushua. And what Yahushua is going to do is he's going to send, the lasers, right, from the chariot to destroy these nations, man. Right? So the Lord wants these nations to fight each other so that they can destroy each other, right? To destroy their armies. Okay. So it says, He hath utterly destroyed them, He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Right. So anyone that goes out to who's conscripted in these wars in times to come, right, they ain't coming back. Right, they're going to be part of the and that's even coming back in the body bag either. Right, they're going to be part of that soil out there in the Middle East, man. Right, the place where the Most High is gonna, as we read earlier on, the place of the Most High's judgment. Right. This one's a bit long, so if you got a preset.
No, go on now.
Okay. So it says, and their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountain shall be melted with their blood. Right, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, right, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And as we have touched on it, right, that this is mentioning about the ICBM nuclear missiles. Right, so the Lord is going to basically get all of these different missiles, nuclear missiles that these devils have created, whether it's the Edomite devil, but all of these other heathens, rather, let me say it like that, all of these heathens, right, have created, they all going to be used, right?
I had a quick preset.
Yep.
This is Revelation 6:14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Just to land back off of that precept.
That's it.
So pretty much, the heaven departing as a scroll. Okay. What's going on when it's talking about a scroll being rolled together? When you looked at a missile, when a missile goes off, you have a mushroom cloud. And it looks like, those ancient scrolls, it looks like that scroll together.
That's it.
A mushroom cloud, man. It's talking about the missiles, nukes. And it says, in every mountain and island will move out of their places. So what kind of destruction is it going to be? Okay, this is going to be a great destruction like never before, man.
Yeah.
A time of trouble, a time like never before, as it says in Daniel 12:1. The whole earth's going to shake, That's in Haggai. So it's going to be crazy, man.
Yeah. I don't know if you had others in Revelation 6 as well, but since you're there, is it 6 and 4 or 6 and 9?
For the red horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 6 and 4.
Yeah.
This is Revelation 6 and 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Right. So why was that horse red? Red representative of these Edomites, right? And let's say you can't tell us that this man hasn't gone and taken peace from the earth, right? No matter where it is he goes, right? Peace ain't gonna be there anymore. There was a meme going out over the last couple of weeks, right? With a picture of Victoria Nuland, that American devil, right? And it was basically saying, if you see this woman in your country, you're about to have an uprising, right? Because before Ukraine, right, with the Maidan, well, back in 2014, who was there? Victoria Nuland, going around doing whatever wickedness she was doing there. And same thing happened with the Sudan situation, where before the war broke out, who was there? Victoria Nuland, right? So that's what this man does. He goes around taking peace from earth, dropping peace bombs, killing children, animals, right? Destroying everything, right, in its path, right? But then then it goes into that great sword. And what is that great sword? A great sword is that ICBM nuclear missile, man, right? Which the Lord gave this devil the spirit and understanding to be able to put together, right? I'll grab that real quick, just because since I've mentioned that, and I'll let you bring out your preset.
Okay.
Right. Just bear with me. So Isaiah 54 and 16, right? It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, right? And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy, right? So yeah, Esau may be like, oh yeah, what did my man say? Oppenheimer, I have become the destroyer of worlds, right? And as opposed to going into, he was quoting the Bhagavad Gita, whatever it's called, right? But ultimately, who's the one that gave these devils the understanding to be able to create these weapons in the first place? It was Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? And that's it, man. The Lord is one of another thing that the Lord wants is for the missiles to actually be used, right? Not like it was a Planet of the Apes where they were just like worshipping the lone missile that remained. Nah, the Lord wants these missiles to be used. He wants these weaponries to be used, man, because those weapons ain't gonna. So you got it.
Yeah, I got a precept for you on that point. This is Ezekiel 21:9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh Shai, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened. So it's going into how it's being sharpened. What does that mean when a sword's being sharpened? Like, for example, in the ancient days when you had a sword, you get a whetstone and you sharpen it. Now, the modern day sword is what? Okay, ultimately the missiles, that great sword, you got the military, okay, these drones, AI, all this is part of the military, the sword of Esau.
Yeah.
Okay. And if it's being sharpened, what's happening? What do you have? Like, you got drills, you got better technology, you got missiles, and then you got hypersonic, you got thermonuclear, hypersonic missiles. It's constantly being perfected.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, why is it being gone?
Sorry, no, to back you as well. That word furbished also goes into like polishing as well, right? And you hear man say that, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just when you're coming out, and I'm just polishing off this beat, man. What does he mean by that? I'm just perfecting it, right? So what is this man saying? He's saying he's perfecting this. Rather, what Scripture saying is that this man is perfecting, this craft, right? This warcraft, right? That the Lord has given him the the wisdom and know-how to do, right?
And it says, now we're going to find out why the Lord's sharpening it. It is it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. That's what a killing instrument's for.
Yeah.
It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree.
And that's the question. Should we then make mirth? Right? Scripture says in is Ecclesiastes, better to go into the house of mourning than into the house of mirth. Right? There's a clip that's going around praising this guy, right? Bishop Nate, all cringing, it's that spirit of, it was just off, or everything about it was off. But the whole getting in on a horse and all of that mirthdom, this ain't really the time for this. Ain't the time for that, right? In a few weeks, a few months, what's going to be happening? Carnival here, carnival there. In America, just had spring break, all these different things. But here it is, the Most High's getting ready to visit the world which He made.
He says, and He hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. So it's going to be used. I always make that point that ultimately, well, first of all, this is according to the prophecy of the Lord. In Isaiah 54, it tells you that the Lord basically set up these scientists to have this technology to make these missiles technology. So ultimately, it's because of prophecy that it's going to be used, but also from the sense of when you look at Esau. When have you ever heard of Esau pushing money into something that's just going to be a big waste? They've got all this military tech, all this pumping, all this defense budgets in, right? Just for them to just like you mentioned that lone in the Planet of the Apes, the lone missile.
Yeah.
Nah, man, the scriptures talk about many missiles, many warheads, man. Okay, that are going to be used and going to be shot over there to America and different places. World War III. That was it on that one, bro.
Yeah, on what you literally just said there. This is Psalm 64 from 5 says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Right, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. right? So they ain't got these think tanks. They ain't got these scientists working overtime, right? Paying them, shed loads of money for them to just not use any of their research. No, these guys are constantly using these research of all of these things that they're working on so that they can come and use it against the people, right? They read their research on, bioweapons, their research on, military, their research on what was this thing, man? You go back to like before the 60s, 70s, what LSD, right?
Oh,
Mind
them
control,
trials, Mike.
MK
Yeah, MK
Ultra,
Ultra. Yeah, yeah.
right? All of those things were studied so that they can be used, right? This man doesn't do anything for the purpose of just for the lols, if as they say, right?
Yeah.
You know. What else did I have? I still have more in Isaiah 34th chapter, right? So Isaiah 34 and 4 it says, "And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Right? For my sword shall be bathed in heaven; it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment." Right? And Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom, man. Right? So the Lord is wills and wants, right? To basically destroy these Edomites, man. One of the things that the I believe Apostle Reimler says every now and then is, yeah, we're pissed, we get angry, but we can't match the anger of Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? The Lord wants to, take this man out, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the scriptures talk about the Lord pouring his anger on us.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah. That was Ezekiel 25, I think. Ezekiel 25. I'll put my anger in thee. There's 25 and 12, maybe. So Ezekiel 25 from 12 points and 14 says, "Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah, but taken vengeance, and hath greatly offended, and hath revenged himself upon them." All right. And he's another precept where basically was saying, with children of Israel, I gave them into your hand, but you forwarded the affliction, right? Because the Lord, was like, yeah, my people have been going off. I'm gonna give them into these different heathens' hands, but these Edomites, they went too far, right? You look at some of the the imagery, some of the written accounts, right, of what was happening in those times, and this devil was doing too much, and as such, the Lord has to recompense that, right? So therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I'll make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And ultimately, after serving 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, hardcore bondage, guess what? These Edomites are going to be done away with, right? Completely done away with. There will be no more Edomite left.
I got a quick precept up.
You got it, brother?
This is Zechariah 1:15. "And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction." And pretty much, man, I haven't brought this one out in a while, but pretty much, the Lord put us through what, like the brother mentioned, this is our punishment. But what you Edomites have done, you're gonna get jacked up for that, and you heathen, man.
Yeah.
Okay. They said they helped forward the affliction. So the atrocities that you've done, you're gonna have to do payback for that.
You're gonna have to pay back. That's it, man. Because it's like, imagine how can we liken this to today's world, where it's like you give your let's say you had a son, your son's been misbehaving, right? You start, bro, go stay with your granddad or whatever, what have you, right? You expect your granddad to give him a little slap or two. When you come back, your granddad's bruised him, his arm's broken, right? He's got 2 black eyes. You're gonna be like, yo, dad, like I just kind of thought you like hit him a little bit. Why is he all fucked up? That's what these devils did, was given into your hands, and you fucked us up, man. Right? But what does it say in Revelation 18 and 6? Right? It says that Excuse me, could you grab that, please?
Yeah, I'm grabbing Revelation
Go on.
18:6. Reward her
Mm.
even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works.
That's
in
it.
the cup which she filled to her double.
That's it. So, and that double isn't like a, this Edomite, whipped me 10 times, I'm going to whip him 20 times. That double is a metaphorical double. Basically means, yo, payback, right? You want to do him 10 times more than what he did you. It's up to you, right? Because once again, these devils did some heinous ass shit to us, man. Right? Imagine here it is, like, once again, we've all loved a woman. Right now, imagine someone coming into your bed whilst you're in bed with your woman, pushing you to the side and raping your wife. And ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that's what they did.
That's what these men were doing. And certain times they'd even try to rape the man.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Butt breaking, man. What about that? What about taking a strong Jake, the leader of a household, and raping him in front of the whole family, man?
Yeah.
Splitting up families.
Yeah. And to this day, one of the worst things that a man can do in a relationship is be seen as one who cannot protect. That's why you have certain women, they legit, to this day, they'll be like, look, I was walking and he made me, she might say it's pity, but he made me walk on the side of the road that traffic is on. Some women legit like, nah, he ain't going to protect me. And Esau knows this. That's why we read earlier on in Psalm 64, right? About that diligent search, man. That's why he did. That's why you get the Willie Lynch letter, man. That was the whole point, so that you would be seen as weak in front of your family, in front of your don't hate using that word, but in front of the plantation, all the jakes on that plantation, man.
Yeah, that was it.
That was on that can. So it says verse 14, it's Ezekiel 25:14. I'll lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. Right. So when the Lord gives us the go ahead, right, these Edomites are going to be gotten by the hand of his people. Right? We can't wait for that, man. We look forward to that. Right? And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord power. Right. So the Lord is going to put his anger and his fury on us, man. Right, because when I think of this precept, I think of Psalms, what was it, 137, right? About dash of thy little ones against the stones, right? And basically that you think about that, and in this mortal flesh, that's not something I could do. I'll put my hands up. Right? I might try one, and then I'm like, oh nah, that's a bit much for me, right? But for us to have that cold spirit, right? The Lord's gonna put His anger on us, man. The Lord's going to help us see the stuff that didn't get ridden, help us understand all of the other things that this man was doing to us, man.
Precept?
Yeah.
Jeremiah 51:20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
That's it.
So through the Lord, man, the Lord's going to raise up hunters. The scriptures talk about fishers and hunters. You got it, come on.
And then I don't know if you have anything else afterwards, but
close out on this.
Yeah.
This
is Jeremiah 16:16. Behold, I'll send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And thereafter will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out the holes of the rocks.
Oh, he said fish them. Yahweh Shai said to Peter and Andrew, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing right now. It's the work.
Yeah. But the time, it's fun when we was getting the grub earlier on. He was mentioning the time for this and the time for that.
Yeah. That's what's that James Bond movie, A Time to Kill.
Yeah, Time to Kill. Yeah,
that's the war.
When we're in that time to kill, man. Lord, once again, Spirit even came back, helps us round it back to where we began. Right, there are wars and there are rumors of wars, right? And like you was bringing up the other day, right, with the situation in Turkey.
Oh yeah, civil war.
The rumors of a civil war.
It could be breaking out anytime.
Anytime, right? So it's just keeping your eyes open, You know, which brothers know to do that anyway, man. To watch, you know, as we were commanded, right, by Yahweh Shai, right? Watch and pray. Right, and pray as well. That's the thing. Pray without ceasing. You know, pray one for another.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's, you know, people are going through something, man. So send up a prayer for the apostles, send up a prayer, you know, for our elders, our bishops, right? Send up a prayer for the Archeum, right? You know,
for the hopeful elect.
The hopeful elect. That's it, man.
You know more on that, bro?
So that was the point. Right?
You read the hunt a bit.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll read it again. It says, "Behold, I'll send for many fishers, and saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks."
Yeah, so there's no hiding, man.
Yeah,
everyone's gonna get it.
That's it. So, you know, I said just a quick one. You know, Lord's will, that was edifying. You know, till the next time. You know, go and close. Give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Makakadash. Right. Double honors to the Apostle Great Most High.
The bonus.
And once you buzz in the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom, Akim.